This is my backsplash right now throughout our kitchen, and this is what I'm hoping it looks like when we're all done with the project. We're gonna talk you through every single step that it took to get to here, including removing the old tiles, repairing the drywall, putting up the new tiles, the grout, the finish, and in another video, I'm gonna talk about what it took to put up these 3D printed under cabinet lights. Now let's get back to optimistic me who thinks this is only a 2-day project. We are going to take out this old tile, put in the new tile. I'm gonna use some 3D printed tile spacers. For now, enjoy the montage of us cleaning our kitchen. Here we go. When you're doing this, protect your countertops with some thick cardboard paper. If you have a glass top stove, you want to cover it with something. I'm just going to cover it with this piece of cardboard, and we will tape it down, cut the edges, make it nice, and that'll keep our glass protected. First, we have to do some circuit tests to make sure that when we remove the outlets and outlet covers, that the circuits are turned off. Here we are in the garage, and I'm going to test out the circuits, because we want to get the circuits figured out, which ones are in the kitchen. So, Melly, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Garage. Okay. Those are number 23. Then we wrote down which circuits powered the switches right underneath the switches and outlets. I was surprised to find that some outlet boxes were actually connected to 3 circuits. Next, remove the outlets, and our problems were about to begin. It's like cement in between the tile. Most people can use a grout thing and get the grout out and then pop the tiles loose. We can't do that. What we're about to have is a big giant mess. First chunk of tile removed. I think it's time for a time lapse. Finished this section. Now we've got to do these sections. So hammer, scraper, these are the tools that we're using to bust up our tiles, which are maybe some sandstone material tiles. We were finally done, but the tiles were coming off with a lot of the drywall still attached. As you can see, the wall was in bad shape, and I thought we were going to have to tear it down and put on new drywall or a new cement backerboard. Before making that decision, Amelia scraped off all the paper, tape, caulking, and mortar that was left behind on the walls. I also knocked out and vacuumed up any loose pieces of drywall, and lucky for us, the first product we used to patch the drywall worked brilliantly, and I can now highly recommend it. Got the wall cleaned up so that whatever we put on it should stick pretty nicely. The first thing I'm going to try is this VersaPatch. It's a latex floor patch. This is a powder. 3 cups of this to 1 cup of water. Mix it up in a bucket. And then you have just about 10 minutes to work with it, and it fully dries in 45 minutes. You can go up to ½ inch thick at a time, up to 1 inch thick total. At most, we'll have to do about 5/8 of an inch because that's the thickness of the drywall. This container is like a giant milk thing from when you were in school. See that well, that's what it looks like. This product hardened super fast, so I didn't get a lot of footage of me applying it on the wall, but I did take pictures after every single layer, and you can see how I slowly built it up until basically the entire wall was covered in it. Then all I had to do was sand it using a sanding screen and a chisel for the really high points until I had a pretty flat wall. We were lucky that we were using 6x3 subway tiles because I knew a big tile like that would be more forgiving with imperfections with it being perfectly smooth on the wall. Sanding down and chiseling the wall was by far the hardest part of the entire project, but hopefully most people won't have to go to that quite extreme to repair their drywall. The next step, of course, was vacuuming. This was super dusty, and then Amelia sealed the wall, which is just a brush-on sealant that prevents the wall from absorbing too much moisture when you apply the mortar. The wall is sealed, it is smooth, it is ready to go. The new tiles will be about 1 inch wider than the old tiles, just because that's the way our tiles fit best. I did 3D print a few of these spacers. So this is the kind you buy from the store, and this is the one that I've printed. I will give you my full review once we use the 3D printed ones. Time to put on the mortar, put on the tiles, start the music. You prefer the 3D printed ones?
I do, heartily.
Because?
They're easier to work with. They stay put. Voila.
Da, 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 da.
I'm wasting all of my time. 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 I'm wasting all of my time.
Next step, grout. Bucket of grout here. Then I will spread it on the wall. Amelia will follow behind me with a sponge, and that wet sponge will wipe up. You know how grout works. you put it between the tiles and then you clean it up. Boom, grout done. That's it. That's the end of the video. Our kitchen looks completely different. If you've been thinking about doing this project, it's huge, but it's definitely worth it. I will do a part 2 of this video where I highlight my 3D printed under cabinet lights, and I will put on the grout sealer, but that takes 2 or 3 days for the grout to dry before I can apply that. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a like, hit subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.